Hey everybody. Looks like we got about three in here now. I've actually got my I wouldn't call it a white beater shirt on, but this is a female tank top, and it's got I found this at Walmart, and I don't know, I just liked it. Uh, Texas is a cool place. I've been there at least once, so I thought, what the hey, this is a cool looking shirt. So um, I did get that, plus the one that you guys have probably seen a million times, uh, the Big Bear California shirt. So I decided to go with something a little different. And still got some pinkish, purplish coloring in it that should go with my hat, hopefully. And I don't have my little basset hound girl, my new basset hound girl back here with me tonight. But I do have Reg, but you probably can't see him because he's laying in the bed off camera. Now, if he gets up and moves around, then you guys might see him. Hey, Texas. Um, I will be totally honest. I've had a headache on and off today. I think it's still sinus related. So um, the worst I would probably have to do is get up and get some more sinus medicine. So just wanted to make you guys aware of that. I don't really have anything for the daily grindhouse, so I'm probably going to skip that tonight. However, as I usually do, I'll give a reminder of the upcoming watch along so you guys can eagerly mark that on your calendar, right? Because you don't want to forget which cool ones I might be doing or which ones you would be more interested in. Of course, X-Ray says, all right, deadbeat by dawn. Well, it's just before dawn. I don't know if you've seen that, X-Ray. It has George Kennedy's in it in a small row, Greg Henry, Jamie Rose, Chris Lemon, um, and it has an interesting killer, I will say, in this one. And also, I'm thinking, yeah, Mike Kellen, that played Mel on Sleepaway Camp. He is, got something else in my tooth again. I don't know what that is. I had some J Gumbos a little bit earlier. I think I'm going to have to start like rinsing out my mouth or something before I get ready to do these after eating something that might have some spices in it, because invariably something's going to end up getting in my teeth. Anyway, Mike Kellen, who played Mel on Sleepaway Camp, is in this in a very small role at the beginning. He plays one of two hunters who kind of run afoul of the unique killer in this. Dana rating Steve's J Gumbo stash. Well, actually, we got. I don't know how many of you guys have a J Gumbo's close by, but here in Louisville, we have these restaurants called J Gumbo's, which have Louisiana type food. And I was really looking forward to getting some from DoorDash today and getting one of those Abita root beers, I think they are, which Dirk told me, hey, Craig, which Dirk told me is actually a root beer that comes from Louisiana. So, and they're really good root beers if you like root beer. If you don't like root beer, then no, you're probably not going to enjoy it. But I'm a huge fan of root beer. Most of the time I drink A&W root beer, but I have drank Barks root beer and different types. Something else over in my tooth. So sorry, guys, for picking at my teeth on here, but I don't know what in the heck. It's all up in my teeth, but anyway, it's gross. So, anyway, I hope you guys are all in the right place and aren't thinking I'm doing another movie other than Just Before Dawn, because if so, you're going to be very disappointed. But Just Before Dawn is a movie that I discovered kind of late in the game. This was not one that I remember watching in the video rental days, which was, really early on. However, later on, when I started kind of blind buying a lot of movies, um, I think this is probably when I got it. However, it is directed by Jeff Lieberman, who Jeff Lieberman directed some other stuff that I like. So I definitely wanted to take a chance on this because at that point I had not seen any Jeff Lieberman film that I didn't like, and I honestly, I think I guess you could call it a slasher film, or I'm going to call it a slasher film. I think it's a pretty decent slasher film. I think Jeff Lieberman did a good job with it. I think it was well cast and all of that. Oh, somebody else that you will see in this, if you've watched Killer Party, the guy that played Martin, I think Martin was his name, that had pretty much had a fling with Vivia in that movie, played by Sherry Willis Birch. I guess he was her boyfriend during a major portion of the movie, and I think his name might be Ralph Seymour. But anyway, he is on this as well. So a little background on the movie, but now I'm going to go through the upcoming watch alongs real quick. Of course, tomorrow night will be Caddyshack for those of you looking for something funny to, just go and hang out with someone or several someones, depending on how many people we have in here, and just watch a really funny early 80s gem, in my opinion. Uh, Let's see. Actually, you say you should do a watch along of Southern Comfort while eating J gumbo. Yeah, I could. Actually, you say you love root beer, but apparently it's not popular in some countries because it closely tastes like medicine, like in the UK or Japan. Interesting. Craig, you say yes. A&W is a delicious root beer. So we got some people in here that like root beer, so that's good. July 1st will be the original Town That Dreaded Sundown. Steve apparently will join me for the Town That Dreaded Sundown. I hope he does. I can't say for sure that he will because sometimes things come up. And like I said before, if sleep starts calling, Steve will answer, and you guys won't see him on here, or you won't see him on here for very long, I should say. July 2nd will be Slumber Party Massacre 2, which was suggested by TJ. July 8th, again, will be the little known or not little known, little talked about Superstition. July 9th will be Summer School. July 15th will be Scream from the 90s, not that horrible, boring piece of crap from the early 80s. And I hate to say that because a lot of movies that were done during that time were not pieces of crap, but that thing is so boring. July 16th will be Sleepaway Camp. July 22nd, Jaws 2. July 23rd will be another John Cusack movie, Say Anything. July 29th will be Sleepaway Camp 2, and July 30th will be Sleepaway Camp 3. Moving on to August. August 5th will be the start of my first two-part watch-along. And this is going to be Stephen King's Salem's Lot, directed by Tobe Hooper. So part 1 will be on August 5th, and part 2 will be on August the 6th. August 12th is Terror on Tour, a movie that a lot of people say is lame, boring, piece of shit, whatever, but I love it. So we're going to try to make it as fun as possible for this watch along. Then that it was going to be followed by on August 13th with a music movie that a lot of people say is one of the best music movies ever made, and that is Almost Famous. August 19th will be Pet Cemetery. August 20th, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. August 26th, Carrie. And August 27th will be Mystic Pizza. And Mystic Pizza features a restaurant that is based on a real restaurant, Mystic Pizza in Mystic, Connecticut, I believe. So evidently, I found out recently that they do sell a frozen pizza version of Mystic Pizza, and you can get it from Whole Foods, evidently. So we do have a Whole Foods here in Florida. Florida. What in the hell am I doing? I am not drunk, guys. I don't know. In Louisville, I don't know why I was thinking of Florida. Good gracious. Here in Louisville. So what I'm going to attempt to do is the day of, before I do the Mystic Pizza watch along, I'm going to attempt to get my hands on a frozen Mystic Pizza. You guys can feel free to do the same, or you can just have your choice of whatever pizza you want, or you cannot. It's just something when I discovered that there were frozen Mystic pizzas, I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool to have, be eating a slice or so on the stream whenever I do the Mystic Pizza watch along. So I probably should hurry up and get this movie started soon, because we dropped from 7 to 4 just while I was blabbing on. Again, I realize there might be like drive-by people that are just looking for something fun to pass the time, and this might not be it, which is okay. But in any event, I am going to get started here in a couple of minutes with the movie. Now, this will be the longer cut. So for those of you that are watching from the Code Red Blu-ray, if any of you are watching from a Blu-ray, the longer cut is offered. This is the hour and 42-minute version or something like that. Now, this is also the same version that is on the YouTube link that I provided. So if you're watching the Code Red Blu-ray, you'll want to pick the longer cut. If you're watching on YouTube, you should be good to go. Should be able to sync it up pretty well. So I don't know how many of you guys are actually going to be watching the movie tonight, or if you're just going to hang out in the chat. Either way is fine. I do have mine synced up already. I'm about 10 seconds in. It's starting to fade into the landscape shot of the movie. So I'm going to give everybody a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, to get all synced up. If a few of you, 2, 3 of you, will let me know when you're queued up and ready to go, for those of you that are going to be watching tonight, then when I get a good feel that most everybody is queued up and ready to go, we will go ahead and get started. Also, as usual, I have put a link, the StreamYard link, in the chat. If anybody at any point in time needs me to repost that in the chat, I'll be glad to do so. For anybody that wants to join me live on the stream tonight to talk about Just Before Dawn. If you come in late to the game, that is fine. If you need to know a timestamp, just ask, and I'm sure one of us will be happy to give that to you. If you come in a little late in the game and want to join me live and you need me to repost the link, Yeah, just please let me know. I am now keeping this on the, I have the movie playing, uh, a little bit in this little square up at the top. That way I can stay on the StreamYard page. So I don't miss anybody's messages or anything like that. So, um, if you decide at some point in time, barring it not being 30 seconds or so before the movie is over, because you wouldn't get to be on here very long, of course. Excuse me. Just let me know if you need me to put that chat back in there, and I'll be happy to do so. If you need a timestamp, like I said, just ask, and I'm sure someone will be glad. Me, or if not me, somebody else will be able to help out. Okay, so Texas says that he is ready. So, Texas, you may be the only one besides me watching this tonight. I was kind of hoping maybe Uncle Bill, CK. Although I don't know about CK because CK, like I said, has told me more than once that he usually does a lot of family stuff on the weekends, which is, understandable. But I was kind of hoping somebody would want to come in live on this with me. So you don't have to listen to my boring ass for an hour and 40 something minutes. But if not, I will get in here and do my best to keep everybody interested. Um, I don't think we're going to have as many in here as we did for the Dead Pit Memories. I was nice, but it was wild. There, I think that's the most I've ever had in any of my streams. And I was happy to have everybody in here. I hated it that I had a little bit harder time keeping up with the chat than normal. But I was hoping. Golly, guys, I'm so sorry. That's the way I've been doing lately. It's like I'll be all awake and ready to go, and then just sleepiness will come on me all of a sudden. So don't know what it is, why it's happening, and all that. Um, but hopefully, I can quit this stupid yawning. See, I feel like I'm gonna yawn again. um, I'm trying to drink this energy drink, and Steve, bless his heart, he says, "Now don't stay up till too late." And I'm like, well, it depends on if somebody comes in live on the stream with me. If somebody comes in live on the stream, I might stay up a little bit later. Otherwise, I'll probably get off not long after the movie's over. Texas, he said, "I'm just waiting for Dirk and Darren to end." LOL. Do you know, are they getting close, Texas? Because I certainly would be willing to wait if it's just going to be a few minutes more. I knew that Dirk and Darren were doing their thing, their an hour to kill show. Actually, to be and this is no lie, I actually like a little bit of competition because it pushes me to work harder to try to not to take viewers away from anybody else, but it pushes me to work harder to make my content as good as I can be. They're on the last movie. Okay, well, I tell you what I can do. I can blab on a little bit till you let me know that they're done, and then we'll go ahead and get started because I can probably you could probably blab on about something if I don't freaking go to sleep. Just in case it's my blood sugar, I'm going to step away and grab something real quick, and that'll give more time. Hey, Blissful. Texted you say they were late starting today? Yeah, that happens. I was sitting back here like dum 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 dum, and then realized that I didn't have my. I went to hit live, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have my intro video up. Crap!" I had to hurry up and get it. So it seemed that everybody had a really good time during the Dead Pit Memory Show. And I know I had a good time, and Jay said he had a good time. CK seemed to be really pleased that I was doing a show like that or a stream like that. Which, in all honesty, I've been planning on doing something like that at some point in time. I just hadn't gotten around to doing it. And so I thought, well, now's as good a time as any. I guess I could talk about the place Steve took me for breakfast this morning, which was a place called Big Bad Breakfast. And evidently they have these Big Bad Breakfasts several different places in the United States. Texas, I'm not sure if they have a Big Bad Breakfast in Texas or not. Oh, I know there's something. Looks like it's still on my teeth. Looks like there's a lot of crap in my teeth. Blissful, you say you're listening, you just got home. That's cool. But anyway, I had a breakfast margarita there, which I don't know how many of you have had quote unquote breakfast margaritas, but it was pretty good. There was tequila in it, of course, but I had a lemon wedge on it, and of course they asked me if I wanted salt on the glass. I was like, sure. I believe there's orange juice in it, and it tastes like there might have been some lemon juice in it. It was pretty good. It was like a really good mixed drink to me. And Steve wasn't interested in it really because it wasn't a frozen margarita. It was just margarita on the rocks. And then I got biscuits and gravy. And Steve got a Big Bad Breakfast, which was basically it's a skillet breakfast. They brought him something out in this little square shaped, looked like an iron skillet. They had like eggs and bacon and sausage and all that in there, and then he had toast. And then I only got one biscuit, but it was you're talking about a biscuit that's like this big, and then you had your choice of sausage, tomato, or red eye gravy. And I just went with the sausage gravy. But I was telling my mom about it earlier, and she says tomato gravy is really good. So if we ever go back again, I'll try the tomato gravy. Texas, you say, oh, that sounds good. It was decent, yeah. A little on the expensive side though, because they also had mimosas, and they had like a Kentucky coffee that had bourbon in it. I'm thinking maybe if we go back, I might try that. But their drinks like that were all $9 a piece. Hey, Rooster. And also, that one biscuit and gravy on it was $7. And I think Steve's meal was like 13. So when we got the check, we're talking with tip, it's about a $40 breakfast. So that was kind of an expensive breakfast. But see if there's anything else I can blab about. Texas, you said there used to be a Mexican restaurant here that used to do a brunch on weekends, and it was so good. I bet. There is a place here in Louisville, the Bristol, which offers brunch on Sundays. However, I don't envision me and Steve going there for a while, if ever now, because Steve got pissed off. I mean, I would be pissed off too. He took me for Mother's Day brunch and got a check for 80 something bucks. And yeah, they didn't have any notifications they were going to be charging that much. And I'm with Steve. Why would you do that to people that are trying to take their mothers maybe um, out for a Mother's Day brunch, to essentially to rape them financially? That Steve, when he looked at that check when it came, I knew something was wrong. And I said, "What's wrong, Steve?" And he didn't answer me right off. So the waitress came back through, and Steve was like, "Is this right?" Because he thought maybe they messed up somewhere. And she's like, "Yeah, that's right." And Steve was like, 80 whatever it was dollars. And she said, "Yeah." And like it wasn't any big deal in the world, like she couldn't figure out why he'd even be asking about that. But anyway, I don't envision us going there for a long, long while again, because he naturally so he got upset over it. All he was trying to do was take me out for a nice Mother's Day meal, and we were planning to go somewhere else, and it was just too full of people. And I said, "Well, just take me to Chili's," and Steve, bless his heart, was trying to do something nice for me and thought he'd take me to the Bristol, and it kind of backfired a little bit. So I don't think I've ever had a brunch though at a Mexican restaurant. Hey, Matt. Not a lot, actually, Matt. Just we're going to be getting started with just before dawn here in just a few minutes. I'm kind of trying to wait for Dirk and Darren to be done with their An Hour to Kill show. Just in case, people that are maybe watching that and might consider coming over to my stream. I'm actually over there looking at their stream right now. Hey, Chris C's on there and Gizmo. Oh, I'm actually getting to see what Gizmo looks like. I didn't know what he looked like. Ah, okay. Well, you didn't have to, Texas. You say you dipped out. I told them bye. Seemed like they were still going to go on a bit. Okay, well, so Rooster, Matt, are you guys going to be watching along with Just Before Dawn tonight? Did you need some time to get queued up? Like I said earlier, I do have a YouTube link for it, which is the longer version. So if you are watching from a Blu-ray, you want to make sure you pick the longer version. And the YouTube link as well is that longer version, the hour and 40 something minutes. Rooster, say you're ready. Um, like I said, on my Blu-ray, I'm about 10 seconds in and it's just fading in to show the landscape scene at the beginning of the film. So I'll give it about another minute and then we'll go ahead and do the 3, 2, 1 and get started. So anybody do anything fantastic with the start of their weekend, or did they just rest? Or Matt, what channel are they on? Are you talking about Dirk in them, or are you talking about the movie we're going to do tonight? Because Dirk's channel, which is where they do these, is Subjective Perspective Collective, which if you wanted to check out his channel, I'll put that in the chat. All righty, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. If anybody comes in a little bit later, we'll get them filled in on. Oh no, Rooster, that's terrible. Transmission. Ooh, man. Matt, you're just hanging out, won't be watching along. That's cool. So we'll go ahead and do the 3, 2, 1 and then press play. And like I said, if anybody comes in a little bit later, we will get them up to speed. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, press play. Rooster, you say you're looking for another one? Good. I hope you find one, and I hope you find it reasonably priced too. Excuse me. There I go sneezing. We've got another air quality alert. This is the most air quality alerts I've ever seen. I know Louisville has bad air quality anyway, But yeah, this has been the worst, and it's just driving me nuts. Oh, Matt, you say you got to weed whack the yard? Yeah. When it gets hot like this is about the only time you can do that kind of stuff, too. So, as usual, I mean, I'm not saying that this looks horrible, but being as this was a code red release, code red releases, in my opinion, were always a little uneven. Some of them would look really good, and others of them not so good. And of course, I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead, but Bill Olson would always blame it on everybody under the sun but himself to why a release did not look good. Um, so this one does, I mean, again, it's not horrible, but it is a little rough around the edges at times. So this this opening scene, of course, you can see they're deer hunters, but I am sorry, but I don't really want to see a deer carcass anyway. But that is the sickest looking deer carcass I've ever seen. I think if my dad brought home, because my dad's a deer hunter, if he had ever brought home a deer that looked like that, I'd be like, Dad, are you sure we should eat this? Because it looks really bad. So, yeah, Mike Kellen is the other guy in this scene, not that guy, but right there, that is Mike Kellen, who you guys will recognize more than likely from Sleepaway Camp, also from Midnight Express. He plays Brad Davis's father in that movie. Matt, you say you're subscribed to Dirt but didn't get a notification they was live. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately. Even people that tell me they didn't get notifications for some of my streams and didn't know I was live either. So I don't know what is going on there with YouTube, and I'm subscribed to Dead Pit, and I don't think I get notifications when they're live anymore, and I used to. So yeah, I really don't know what's going on. Maybe something screwed up with their notification system or something. So poor Mike Kellen's character in this, he's going to be the guy that, obviously when the shit hits the fan, of course, he's been drinking. Who's going to believe this guy? Check out that. See that deer? That is awful. So somebody is pushed or took their truck out of gear and it's crashed into a tree and caught on fire. And we're getting a little glimpse of the killer there, who has just been pretty much dispatched. So, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would find that funny because it appears that it went, this machete or whatever, went right through his ass. And The only other time I remember seeing that in a horror movie was on Evil Laugh. So now the killer's going to take his hat. So Mike Helen is seeing this from afar and he's like, oh shit, who is this? So Greg Henry, you're going to see Greg Henry here. There he is driving the RV there. And Greg Henry might look familiar to a lot of you guys and gals. And that is because I believe Greg Henry was in a lot of De Palma movies. I believe that's the director that he was in a lot of their movies. There is Ralph Seymour, who was, taking pictures there. And then he, of course, was the one that played Martin on Killer Party. And I believe Chris Lemmon there, the guy with the curly dark hair, I believe, is that Jack Lemmon's son? Yeah, good eye, Texas. You say you could see someone in the truck as it was rolling down the hill. LOL. Um, I'm kind of getting the impression that, and I'm not going to stop doing these regardless, these watch alongs, but I'm kind of getting the impression that these watch alongs aren't the popular thing. Because lately I'm having very few people come into the watch alongs, and people generally aren't coming in live either. Um, so, I mean, I'm not going to quit doing them, and I will certainly do them on a consistent basis up until the end of August. If they don't, I will say if they don't pick up, and I'm not putting any pressure on anybody at all. I just want to do what people want to see. And if watch alongs are not what they're wanting to see right now, then I maybe need to change tactics and do something a little different for a while. Um, so, like I was saying, if they don't pick up on the number of people or people that want to participate, after August, I may take a month's break from doing watch alongs, and I may try to do something else over the weekend, maybe just on a Saturday or something, and then take Sunday off. It maybe is that it's overkill. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing too many of these, and people just, I'm not interested in sitting there while somebody's watching a movie and talking about it. Sometimes I underestimate, overestimate different things. And so I just want to make sure that I'm putting out the kind of material, the kind of content that you guys, as the subscribers to the channel, want to see. And if that's not watch alongs, then I need to figure out something else, to some other topic or something to do it on. So just a little heads up there on direction I could be going come September. So Texas, have you seen this movie before, or is this a first watch for you? Just kind of curious. So that very sickly looking deer carcass fell on their RV. But it's not getting to Greg Henry exactly. He's just going to kind of go with the flow. Texas, you say first watch. Remember, I was going to buy it, but it disappeared from Amazon. Gotcha. As many Code Red releases did a lot of times. And I think that was probably because when Bill Olsen was still alive, I think Bill Olsen just picked up his toys and went home sometimes. But that's just me. Code dead. Well, unfortunately, again, I don't wish any ill will towards anybody. And there's George Kennedy, by the way. Um, but Bill Olsen, he is gone now, but Bill Olsen was not a good, he was evidently not a good businessman. I think his brother, who does Scorpion, what is a lot better businessman and a lot more, I guess, supportive of the people that buy his product that he puts out than his brother was, than Bill was. Oh, I know, Blissful. You and some people can, you can multitask. You can listen and you can, do other things. Um, and it is Saturday in summer, but however, I feel like that these watch-alongs have never, even when it was wintertime, really, have been as popular as I had hoped that they would be. My thought was when I first started doing them that they'll be more popular. And as time went on, it doesn't appear that they are. And maybe that's not a thing now. Maybe a lot of people just aren't interested in sitting around and or watching a movie and listening to somebody talk about it. Um, maybe people aren't interested in commentaries over movies much anymore. I mean, times change, tastes change, all those things change. And again, I'm totally not upset over it. I just simply don't want to keep putting out content that, although it might be fun for me, if it's not fun for other people, then there's really not a reason to do it. Um, and, again, I'm not saying that I will stop forever. I may just give it a break for a month or two and then go back to it, see how it goes then. Um, but I my main thing is I want to put out content that people are going to enjoy, that people are going to watch. Um, and some of these watch alongs, to be honest, had under 100 views, even after they've been done for a week or two. And the more popular videos, the views will pick up on them. You know, if you don't get the views when you're live, then you'll get the views on the replay if people were busy. But the last several of these watch alongs I've done, there wasn't even that many views after the fact. So either I'm not doing the right kind of movies or something is not gelling as far as these go. And maybe I am doing too many of them. Maybe doing them every week is not advisable to do. Yes, Texas. I know. I keep having that in the back of my mind, and I hope that you don't feel like I'm blowing you off or anything. Um, yes, all of you guys that even people that aren't in here tonight have been helping me grow, and I am grateful for each and every one of you guys. Um, but yeah, message me anytime, Texas, and I will respond as I can. If it is on a work day, I mean, feel free to message me, but it may take me a little bit to get back. I've also got to get with TJ about do we want to do we want to start the Friday 13th the series um this coming Wednesday, or do we want to wait till the following Wednesday? And there's Mike Kellen showing up again to get back to the movie a little bit. Rishi said the redhead has an odd hairdo. Are you talking about Jamie Rose's character, the girl in the pink shirt there? So, of course, Mike Kellen's character, obviously he's been drinking, but he's trying to tell them that something bad happened. And of course, I think George Kennedy's character also tells them at some point in time to beware, don't be going out in the wilderness by yourself without somebody that knows what they're doing. Of course, Greg Henry's character is like, oh, I know how to handle this, this territory and all that stuff. So they're young, they're stupid, they do everything that they should not be doing. Like in every one of these um, horror movies where they're going out into areas that everybody's telling them not to go to. Let's say you say you forgot to charge your Chromebook. You were editing some things that you'd written in longhand. Rachel, you said that's the one you were talking about. Yeah. I mean, I guess for 1981, it was okay, but now it probably does look sort of odd. I think Jamie Rose is just I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm just saying she's just, to me, she's kind of odd looking anyway. So, of course, Mike Kellen's still drinking at this point, and now he's laughing at him because he's like, "You idiot kid." And the killer has jumped on top of their RV, so he's kind of going for a ride with them here. I think Mike Kellen's freaking lost his mind. I don't know. I always thought there was something odd, and I don't hate the character of Greg Henry's girlfriend in this, but I don't know. For much of the movie, and maybe that was by design, she seems so useless. Um, Things are going to change by the end of the movie. I don't want to give anything away too much too early. Um, but here during a lot of these scenes just seems like she's such a throwaway character. So apparently they've gone as far as they can go in this wilderness in the RV. So now it's going to start the part of roughing it. I have never had one of these packs on my back before, but I can only imagine how heavy those suckers would be. So I don't know, maybe they're designed in a way that they don't feel so heavy. I don't know. But I've seen people with those on, and I'm just like, wouldn't that kill your bike? Texas, you say she looks like the middle daughter from the Waltons. That would be Aaron, right? I think. I didn't watch much of the Waltons, but I know my mom did, and every once in a while I'd catch an episode. So for me, and in some ways, this is similar to the Final Terror. I think the way it's designed and stuff, and some of the characters and all of that, um, the environment, like I said, that they're in. Texas, you said Blissful would know. In Mortuary, though, I think that was Aaron. I think that was the one that played Aaron on the Waltons. Pretty sure. These are some great waterfalls, in my opinion. Guys, I hate to so early on, but I've been drinking a lot of Cokes and lemonade and all kinds of stuff. And now that means I'm going to have to go to the restroom. So, y'all keep watching. Feel free to give anybody a timestamp if they need it. And I'm just going to take myself out of the stream here a second. Okay, I'm back again. Thank you, Blissful. Blissful says, please hit the thumbs up and thank you. Yes, ma'am. So, of course, you had the typical, campground shenanigans with this movie, with some of the guys trying to scare everybody else. We've seen that done many times in many other movies. I don't know. Here's something else about I hate to keep harping on the girl playing Greg Henry's girlfriend, but she just most of the time she looks like she's got resting bitch face all the time. And I don't know why, but that annoys me so much. That uh that new Superman show or whatever, Lois Lane has resting bitch face. That's because she always looks like she's just got. I hate to say it this way, and I hope this doesn't get me banned off YouTube, and I hope it doesn't gross anybody out. But both of these women look like they just got a very annoying period cramp, and they're just like that all the time. And that just for some reason annoys me. And you ladies that are in here, like Blissful, probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So Blissful's got the laughing emoji there. So, and as you can see, and this is probably on the YouTube version as well, these green lines that are typically going through there, a lot of times I feel like they could clean that up if they, took a little extra effort. Um, for which I don't think Bill Olson was ever willing to take, put forth that extra effort. See, she's doing it again. It's either that or she just seems super whiny. And some people may say they just got natural, the natural way people would act, two people in a relationship, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking if they had really gave this the full, in my opinion, the full treatment, this movie could have possibly looked amazing with all this scenery, all this foliage, and all that. So now they've discovered, what the kids or the young people have discovered what appears to be a mountain girl. And of course, she's frightened of them, probably doesn't see many, I guess what they would be considered city people, city folk. Um, and so she, naturally is kind of scared of them. Oh, that's cool, Blissful. You say you hung out with the guy who played Jason. I know who Richard Thomas is. I know who played John Boy. At least until some of those later shows. Does anybody remember after John Boy was supposed to come back from the war and he didn't have his memory, I think? Then it was the guy that played the stepfather on Stepfather 3. But I think Richard Thomas came back after a certain amount of time, if I'm not incorrect on that. Bliss, what you say, he was in Richard Marx's band. It was the best thing about the concert except the nap I had during. I don't know. I don't think I would want to go across some kind of bridge like that. And so I believe this bridge is going to come into play a little later too, in a pretty big scene. So Ralph Seymour and well, that guy's like going for a fall, and he? Um, Ralph Seymour, the guy in the white shirt there, he he still seems kind of goofy in some scenes, but not nearly as goofy as his character of Martin in Killer Party. So he seems slightly cooler than he did on that. Uh, so now everybody thinks it would be fun to take a tumble down this. I don't think it would be fun. I don't think I would want to do that. I mean, this is probably the most foolish thing I've seen people do in a movie, or one of the most foolish things. And then the redheaded chick, Jamie Rose's character, just thinks that, oh, okay, let's just strip off down to bra and panties or bathing suit or whatever she had underneath her clothes and just get in the water. That sounds like a fine idea. Oh, God, tidy whities. We don't need to see that, do we? This is something, and again, I'm not a prude, but this is something I could never understand. And I'm sure there's real people in real life that would do this. When you're in mixed company, it'd be one thing if you were just there with your boyfriend, but you're there with other people, some of the opposite sex, some of the same sex, and you're just taking your clothes off. You get in the water, oh, let's skinny dip. I I never been able to understand that. I mean, now the rest of them are kind of just walking around and not paying any attention, but at first they're all standing around there and she just, took her top off and showed her boobies. I mean, I don't get it. Oh man, I was talking about this green line in here. Man, I forgot that the green line actually stays. Thanks, Bill Olson. Oh, there's the little mountain girl that's watching them again. We don't really know her story just yet. Ah, welcome up, Blissful. You say, okay, I'm back and done with my odds and ends. You guys see that in the background? There's that killer again. And then, of course, the little mountain girl runs away. That would always, and maybe it was because I wasn't a real good swimmer. That pissed me off when people would try to dunk me, because uh, I don't think you should just come up to somebody and do that to them. I mean, within this movie, it's okay, but I'm talking about in real life. I don't really feel like you should go up to somebody and just dunk them underwater, not knowing if they're a very efficient swimmer or anything like that, and that could scare somebody, because I never liked being under the water for long periods of time. I might dunk myself in the water and then come right back up. But I never liked anybody to forcefully push my head underwater. And then there was this one time when I was in the pool in a neighbor's pool, um, with my cousin. We had gotten invited to go get in the neighbor's pool, and we did. And one of the girls, we were all on one of these inflatable rafts in the pool, and Heather, my cousin Heather, did get real upset at the other girl for pushing me off of it, just suddenly just pushing me off the raft, and I fell backwards into the water and went under. Um, I came back, I bobbed back up. Thankfully, I didn't, struggle and panic that much. Um, and Heather, yelled at the other girl for, she doesn't know how to swim very well. You shouldn't have done that. And, you know, so there's my story about, maybe people should think before they do things like that to other people. Blissful, you say, yeah, not fun. I had a kid almost drown me when I was 7. It was years before I could get in deep water. Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff will really mess you up. So don't just assume that somebody can, like I said, they're a proficient or efficient or whatever swimmer, because it could be a beginner. They could just be wading in the shallow water, just trying to cool off. Yeah, exactly, Rooster. How can they blow off her getting felt up in the water? Yeah, another very foolish thing that these kids do. And Mike Killen is still hanging around. And he's still drinking, trying to get George Kennedy to listen to him, but I don't know how much George Kennedy's going to believe in, to be honest. Rooster, you say my brothers did every mean thing there was to do to another person in the water. See, now I don't think I would have wanted to be around your brothers then, Rooster. Bliss, what you say, on a happier note, I was swimming with my cousin's children today. I would love some of their energy. LOL. You know, I've been saying that for years, Blissful, about these kids. It's like I would love to be able to siphon some of their energy off, not hurt them, but siphon some of their energy off and bottle it and save it up for, when I really need it, like today that I'm feeling wiped out certain points in times. She's pissed now. So I think this is the scene where I think it might be the redhead that she's like, she's mad at her boyfriend. She's mad at Chris Lemon. So she's going to get drunk and start dancing around and stuff, kissing and hugging around on the other guys. There she goes. Oh, 5 years old and 3 years old. Wow. Of course, Chris Lemon's character is like, he's looking at Ralph Seymour like, go ahead. But again, Greg Henry's girlfriend's not too happy. Well, now she's getting a little happier. I guess a little drinking and a little dancing's enough to loosen everybody up, right? Now I guess she's trying to, she's trying to get sexy now or something. Yeah, I thought this was where I'm calling them mountain people. That's the best way I can describe them. Um, kind of blow up their radio, shoot bullets into their boombox or whatever. I don't think these mountain people like their newfangled technology. Hey, Clifton. Haven't seen you in a while. That's right, Texas, the original wrong turn. Wrong turn before there was a wrong turn, I guess. And then she goes back to having resting bitch face again. I mean, at certain points in times, I think, with the exception of Ralph Seymour's character, they all act like spoiled brats um, in this movie. You know what's sad though about this movie is you got George Kennedy in this movie, and they don't give him a lot to do, in my opinion. Actually, I felt like they gave Mike Kellen more to do than they did George Kennedy. So here's something else I don't really understand. Why in the hell is she all of a sudden turning into sex kitten number 5 or whatever? I mean, what the hell? Rooster, you say George Kennedy lived here in Idaho? Cool. Evidently, the little mountain girl is kind of sweet on Chris Lemon. I've never been to Idaho, but if it's beautiful, I'd like to visit. Evidently, the little girl has gotten a hold of some makeup, but she doesn't know how to put it on. I mean, I keep calling her a little mountain girl, but obviously she's not so little. So poor Chris Lemon, he's upset the mountain girl, and so he's trying to get catch back up to her, I guess, so he can apologize. So this might be where the big rope bridge scene comes up because, um, or maybe not, but they are around the rope bridge scene. So we're probably going to figure out it soon, real soon here, why the girl kind of runs and then goes and hides. So now Chris Lemon's going to, I guess he thinks maybe she's afraid to cross the rope bridge. So he's going to show her how easy it is. Not knowing that there might be something he doesn't like on the other side of this rope bridge. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is it just me, or does this guy appear to be like a bastardized version of Sloth from Goonies? Uh-oh. Chris Lemon's in trouble. Yeah, I really don't get this chick. This blonde chick here. Yeah, in Texas, she say he's a modern Paul Bunyan. Okay, I understand too, trying to look your best, but like guys and gals, I went on many camping trips and well, a few camping trips, and I never, even when I got older, felt like I had to take my makeup with me. You're out in the freaking wilderness. Why would you feel like that you got to paint your nails and do all that stuff? And girls, the ladies that are in here, blissful, if you're in here and you feel differently about it, please feel free to share with me. Hey, 71. Um, hey, Chris. Thanks for stopping in. I know I noticed that you were on Dark Stream earlier. Yeah, exactly, Rooster. Putting on makeup while you're camping. And maybe it's, maybe some of the ladies in here, Blissful 71, maybe you guys could shed some light on it because I just couldn't imagine taking my whole makeup case or whatever with me camping. Chris, she said, always, Dana, I got you. 71, you say, if I was camping with guys there, I'd be finding an empty cabin. Uh, but they're not really staying in a cabin. They're staying in tents and stuff. But I just like, really? I mean, you got to have all your makeup with you. I understand. I do understand about trying to look your best for your man. But, you know, I don't know. I only know about me, Rooster. I don't know about all girls, how they would look after camping a few days. Blissful, you say when camping, the last thing you need is makeup, unless you're trying to look pretty for a bear. Aren't you supposed to go all natural when you're, uh, camping in the wilderness? I mean, they had an RV, but they could only get so far in this wilderness with the RV, and so now they're staying in tents, or maybe they intended to stay in tents anyway. So, anyone you said grab a dude and hit an empty cabin. Blissel says at 71, we had the same camping concept. Ooh. 71 just ordered 40 bags of chips, 18 candy bars, and a gallon of pretzels for her birthday. Sounds like you're going to have a good birthday. So, Ralph Seymour is out here, taking pictures and stuff. Evidently, he's found an old cemetery and what looks to be an old cabin. 'Rooster, you say, I know I'm a guy, but after a few days, I'm a smoky, dirty mess, even if there's a shower. Well, honestly, I'm not probably not going to look too good after being, in the wilderness for a few days either. Um, and to be totally honest, the times that I went camping, it was maybe for a night or a weekend or something like that. It wasn't, it honestly wasn't for several days. 71 is definitely queen of the snacks, Blissful. Ooh, chocolate pudding. I need to get me some more chocolate pudding, actually. That sounds really good right now. But I do have some Ben and Jerry's ice cream in the freezer, so I may be getting it out before long. It definitely makes me hungry. I have never known anybody that was able to catch a fish with their hands. Have you guys? That's what you say. I don't camp like I used to. New York is overrun with ticks. It's annoying and scary. Yeah, I mean, I've had my fair share of experiences with ticks over the years. So they found Chris Lemon, and he's not looking too good. Ticks do suck, Rooster. Now, Chris Lemon's toast, or his character of Jonathan, I believe. I didn't mention it earlier, but I will tell you guys that I'm planning on having a summer camp slasher stream on Tuesday, more than likely starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So those of you guys that have been enjoying those can feel free to pop in. Hopefully, maybe I'll have somebody come in on the chat with me because or the stream with me, um, because the last two that I've done, I had somebody come on with me because I had Uncle Bill the first time around, and Dirk was on with me for the second one. Blissful, yep, 71 never fails to give me the munchies, lol. Clifton, you say, I still haven't watched my Code Red Blu ray. I got it when it came out. LOL. I have the Shriek Show DVD too. That looks kind of rough. Well, to be totally honest, Clifton, the Blu ray from Code Red, that's what I'm watching tonight. And I think that's the version that's used for the YouTube link that I gave. Uh, I'm not so sure that the Code Red Blu-ray would be an improvement over that DVD. Uh-oh. Well, Ralph Seymour's toast, it looks like. Texas, the guy that lost his glasses, he might have been in some other stuff, but I do know that he was in Killer Party, playing Martin, the boyfriend of Vivica, in the movie. And I do believe his name is Ralph Seymour. You think the Code Red looks good, 71? A lot of Code Red stuff I was not really impressed with. Like I said earlier, a lot of their stuff was uneven. I'm not saying this one looked horrible. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it was typical of the stuff that Bill Olsen would usually put out. Uh, in my opinion, Clifton, not much difference, right? Richie said the bag out the hat looks like John Goodman. I'm trying to think what that guy's real name was. Now actually, if you'll notice, there are two, like, appears to be twins, but I'm trying to think if they were actual twins or they just the one guy did doubles, and I can't recall, and that's going to bother me um, if I don't look that up here. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, so evidently it was just one guy, John Hunsaker. Um, he was also in an episode of Chips and some other stuff that I am not familiar with the titles, really. Um, but Ralph Seymour, the guy I said was in Killer Party, um, he's been in quite a bit of stuff, it looks like. Um, He was in an episode of Archie Bunker's Place. He was in Saint Elsewhere. He was in Surf 2 playing Becker. He was in Meatballs Part 2 playing Eddie. Ghoulies as Mark Toadboy. He was in Pee Wee's Big Adventure as Francis's accomplice. The movie Fletch as Creasy. He was in an episode of Amazing Stories, episode of Different Strokes, LA Law. He was in Empire of the Sun, Rain Man. Yeah, ton of television. And a few movies as well. So yeah, Texas, you're right. There is a label called Code Red. Thanks for answering 71 Texas. I'm sorry. I went away for a little bit and was looking at IMDb real quick. Just a little heads up, we got about 25 minutes left in the movie. Um, So now his girlfriend, Greg Henry's girlfriend here, is going back to looking like she's got resting bitch face again. She's almost catatonic, in my opinion. Um, I don't know, what else she was in, but I don't know. In this, to me, she was not a very good actress. And, I know these things are low budget, slasher movies. So, even if they do get some good actors and actresses or people that were soon to be good actors and actresses on the fast track, um, you're still going to get some that aren't really up to snuff. Um, I think that was Deborah Benson, and looks like she was in quite a bit of stuff. She was on an episode of Perfect Strangers. It looks like she was in North Dallas 40, 1941. She was in. It seems like she was in a lot more TV than she was movies. She was actually in the movie When You Remember Me, which is in my that is a very sad movie about Mike Mills. Fred Savage plays Mike Mills in the film, who's a teenager with muscular dystrophy, and his single mother has to put him in a state nursing home, and it they are very abusive to him and all of that. And that movie, I mean, it has a good ending to it. The When You Remember Me movie, um, but it just seems like it takes so long for it to get to the good part, and I was just sadly depressed most of the time. Oh man, hey Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill, you say lettuce movie highly underrated. Well, I wish you had been in here earlier, Uncle Bill. You could have came on live on the stream and talked about it with me. I agree, it's underrated. Clifton agrees. Clifton, you say, "Oh, I've seen that." Sad, yes, yeah, very. You know, it's one of those movies that I say if you're going to watch it, be in a good mood when you're watching it. Don't watch it when you're already sad. I don't think you're historically inaccurate. By the way, Uncle Bill, if that is what your screen name is indicating right now, that somebody has insinuated that you're historically inaccurate. You were out with the chitlins. Oh well, that's cool. I get that. Chris, you say I need to pick up just before dawn. It's a slasher after all. LOL. That's right, Chris. Yeah, and it, in my opinion, pretty decent slasher. And as Uncle Bill said, it is underrated. Uncle Bill, I mean, since nobody else has come on with me, you're welcome. I mean, we still got about 20 or so minutes left because this is the longer cut. If you want to come on for 20 or so minutes, that'll be fine with me. Everybody's had to be listening to me blab on um, for most of the movie. Chris, you want to know if there's a 3D version of this film? Not that I'm aware of, but that doesn't mean much. There could possibly be one floating around. Oh yeah, I got to catch up on some Diodato stuff. Yeah, I did notice that you're doing the Diodato one on Monday. Yes, my ass will be on, definitely be on. But thank you for reminding me, Uncle Bill, ever so gently, by the way, um, because I do need to like rewatch some Diodato stuff. Um, of course, won't have to rewatch Cannibal Holocaust because I just did Cannibal Night, like drive-in night. And here we go again. Now her ass is hanging out of the shorts. What, like, when did this chick just suddenly decide to become, like I said earlier, sex hit number 5? I mean, what the hell? It's like, is that what she thought her boyfriend wanted her to do, or what's the deal? Did she have some this inner longing to become a sex kitten or what? I probably need to, speaking of Cut and Run, Uncle Bill, I probably need to rewatch Cut and Run because I own it on Blu-ray. I just haven't watched in a while. That's the one that has Michael Berryman on it, isn't it? Oh yeah, and I definitely am looking forward to talking about Body Count. I'm probably going to have to refresh myself on Body Count as well. Blissful, you say, are they still camping? Yeah, I guess you could say that, but most of the people are dead now. I think basically maybe the blonde chick and Greg Henry will be the only ones, I guess. So, Uncle Bill, you said we're going to be talking about Campbell Holocaust, House on the Edge of the Park, Body Count, and Cut and Run. That sounds good to me because Campbell Holocaust I've just watched. I should be good on. Um, and may want to need to brush up on House on the Edge of the Park. I guess Body Count and Cut and Run. Um, Uncle Bill, you say I only watch the unrated version. It's the only version to watch. You talking about Cannibal Holocaust? Well, being as I already watched it recently, I'm not going to go back and watch it again. I think I can. I think I can talk about it pretty accurately for that. 71. You say, "Whoa, this is some movie." Blissful says she's going to get mosquito bites. I love body count too, Chris. I first saw body count a long time ago. I was still living with my parents when I saw it for the first time. I think Steve may have a pretty decent copy of Body Count that I can rewatch. Uncle Bill, you say also the Barbarians, but that's just for me. You ain't got to watch it. Oh, you say the uncut version of Cut and Run? I might see about watching Barbarians. I won't swear to it right now, but I'll try to work that one in. So, despite all the grief I've given the blonde chick throughout this entire movie, mostly, there is going to be an upcoming shot that's pretty cool, in my opinion. So, the killer is, or one of the killers rather, is trying to cut the tree down that she's climbed up in. And this is, I mean, honestly, this is a kind of tense shot. Ah, there she blows. Okay, there she went. Oh, cool, Clifton. You say if anyone is interested, I came across YouTube channel Daily Jaws recent interviews with cast and directors of Jaws 2 4K coming next month. Awesome. Uncle Bill, you say, I love it. It's not a horror film, though. It's a goofy ass sword and sorcerer movie like Conan. Well, I might like it. Maybe Steve has a copy of that one, too. Um, if he doesn't, do you know where I could find it, Uncle Bill, to watch it? I mean, do you own a copy or are you watching it another way? Tubi? All right, cool. Texas, you said that was hysterical, them shooting him while he was blowing the whistle and then him falling on top of her. So a lot of Deodato stuff is on Tubi. Is Body Count on Tubi? But you said the cut and run version on there sucks. It's the R-rated version. I probably can watch the uncut version. I bet that's included on the Blu-ray. I would think. Or maybe I just need to start doing these watch alongs later on Saturday because now we got 14 people in here, whereas we were barely holding 4 or 5 earlier. So Body count's on there? Cool. Then I can just watch it on Tubi. I won't even bother asking Steve. Uncut versions on the Blu-ray. Cool. I should be pretty well set up set up then. Okay, Texas, that is exactly what I want people to tell me. If an hour later would work better for people, if for me to start at 8 p.m. Eastern time, if that would definitely work better, hey, I can do that. At least on Saturdays, I can do that. I may try to keep the earlier hour for Sundays because, like I always say, usually, including me, um, we're going to, be going, most of us are going to be going to work on Monday. And so I don't like to keep people up late like that. And I'm not putting anybody down that does really late streams on Sunday nights. I mean, to each his own. Ruchi said, "Did the blonde guy lose his mind?" I just think that all these people, like, well, especially him and her, have been teetering on the edge of sanity this whole entire movie. That's just my opinion on it. But Texas, you say an hour later would be great. Okay, that's cool. That's the exact kind of information that I need from the people that are going to be watching these streams. That way I know more, how to plan, how to schedule, all that. So from here on out, the Saturday watch alongs will start at 7. I mean, not 7, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hey, Coco, you say, yeah, I get back from roller skating at 9. I didn't go tonight. All of a sudden, she looks like she's got a super amount of makeup on. And why is she all Hollywood glamorous looking now? That's another thing I don't get. Cool, Clifton. You say, oh, there's also a commentary on Jaws 2 on there with the author of the book on the making of it. I'm actually going to be getting I've got the Blu-ray for it pre-ordered. Okay, so here's the twin. And man, this chick's become just animalistic now. And this is coming up. It's going to be the big scene that I was talking about. It's kind of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shot there, I think. Yeah, I think at this point, Greg Henry's character is completely useless. He's sitting over there cowering. Reggie. Reggie. Reggie's all of a sudden wanting out. So here's the scene. Like, what other time have you guys seen this happen? I mean, she is literally like pushing her fist and arm almost up to the elbow in this guy's mouth. In this case, it's almost like, they weren't hunting him per se, but the hunter becoming the hunted, in this case. Oh, cool, Clifton. I'd love to hear what you think of the movie. I liked it. I thought it was a decent one. No, the mountain girl didn't stay around too much longer, did she? 71, you say, damn, this movie is just like the area I live in. That sounds dangerous, 71. So we have officially reached the end of Just Before Dawn. As Uncle Bill said a little bit earlier, this is very underrated. I totally agree with him on that. I want to thank all you guys that joined in on the chat tonight. Thank you, Uncle Bill, if you're still in here, for stopping by. And I will be watching those Deodato movies I need to catch up on. Blizzle, you say Doobie got the munchies. LOL. He's snacking on some chicken. Also, I did notice that the special makeup effects were done by Matthew Mungle, who also did the special effects for Pranks, or The Dorm That Dripped Blood, or Death Dorm, which is the three names I know for that particular film. Um, this was filmed on location in Oregon, by the way, as well. So yeah, that is the end of Just Before Dawn. I hope you guys enjoyed this watch along. Um, again, I'll be back tomorrow night. Um, probably won't do 8 o'clock tomorrow night. I'll probably do 7, just for the benefit of those people that have to work the next day. Um, I'm probably going to need a little extra sleep because I'm not taking on this role forever and ever, but our guy on the help desk that divvies out the tickets, and all of that, is going to be going up to Michigan for about 3 days to help field techs with some new clinics, I guess, that are opening up, or they need the extra help. So therefore, he will not be on the help desk to divvy out tickets. So I got asked to take over his job for those 3 days. So he's going to do a little training with me this coming week in preparation for that. So y'all keep me in your prayers, because what my boss asked me was, he was like, so Dana, he said, do you want to be taken off? He said, this is a loaded question. That's what he said first. He said, so do you want to be taken off tickets for a little bit? And I was like, I don't know what he's got. And I told him, I said, oh, that'd be nice, but that is a loaded question because I have no idea what you're going to be asking me to do. And of course, he laughed. So that's what I'm going to be doing upcoming for a few days, while our guy that normally does that has gone to Michigan helping field techs. And also, my boss did say by cross training me to do this, if the guy wants to go on vacation or something and be gone a week, then he's got a backup person to handle that job. So, I figure, this is not going to automatically get me more money or get me a different position, because all I'm doing is helping out. But what I figure is, or what I hope, is that by offering to do these things when I'm asked, that they will